Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Kara Shirley. I am your digital news desk host here on this Thursday, March the 6th. I know we're just beginning March, but it still feels like time is flying. Whenever they said that time goes by faster the older you get, they were telling the truth. That is for sure. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in today on this Thursday with me. It is a beautiful day outside. I hope you're getting to enjoy some of that. We're going to take a look outside in just a little bit, as well as get a brief look at our forecast over the night, rather, or at least. But we'll be doing that in just a little bit. If you're watching on our website, wlbt.com, or through our mobile app, we appreciate you. And if you're tuning in on any of our social streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, thank you so much for watching there too. Let me know where you are watching from. If you're from here in the Jackson area, if you're in one of our outside communities, Brandon, Flowood, Richland, Ridgeland, any of those, let me know. And just say, hey, I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Don't forget, you can always leave comments, thoughts, suggestions, questions, anything like that in the comment section. This is my favorite part of the day, where I get to talk with you, our viewers, as we are delivering the news to you. Before we jump into the news, let's go ahead. Let's take a look outside over with our Jackson Skycam over Jackson Prep right now. And it's actually it's a beautiful day. I'm kind of jealous that I'm stuck in here and not getting to go outside and experience it. But here we go. A beautiful, beautiful day. Temperatures are nice and mild. It really is just a great day to get outside. So if you haven't had the chance to, try and do that before the day is done. Let's also take a look over. Let's look over downtown Jackson from the WLBT studios. And again, a beautiful day over the capital city. I can't wait to get out there. Can't wait to get out there and enjoy that sunshine. I'm so excited for time to change this weekend, where we get more daylight hours. I've been waiting for it since the day that it fell back and we lost an hour. So I'm very excited for that. Well, let's see. Miss Joyce is tuning in from Flora. Hello, Miss Joyce. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all the way in Flora. Peggy Lee is saying hello. Hello to you as well, Peggy. And anybody else tuning in, let me know where you're watching from. And don't forget to also share this. If you're on our social streams, you can share this with your friends and family. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you can get alerts when we are live here with WLBT Plus. Let's go ahead and jump into the news. It was a sad day today when this morning, there was a fatal motorcycle crash that happened here in Rankin County. And that's according to Rankin County Sheriff Brian Bailey. And so this happened on Highway 469 this morning, Thursday morning. The identity of the person who was involved has not yet been released, nor has the cause of the crash been released at this time. Mississippi Highway Patrol is investigating this, and we will bring you more information as it comes available to us. The police are investigating here in Jackson. They're investigating what appears to have been a deadly shooting that happened at a Northwest Jackson apartment complex. It happened sometime before 8 o'clock last night, and it was at the Sunset Plaza Apartments, which is on Sunset Drive. I want to show you guys where Sunset Drive is right now. So here is the map on your screen right here. We have Medgar Evers Boulevard is right here, the pink line. Sunset is right here. So this is where Sunset Drive is. And if we zoom out here, I'll be able to show you this, where it is in relation to downtown Jackson. Pull out a little ways farther. Here we go. So Sunset Drive, that where the shooting happened, is right up here in downtown Jackson. Is right here at the very bottom center of your screen, so you can see where I drew those circles for you, just to let you know where the apartment complex is located. So the Hinds County coroner confirms that one person was killed in this incident. Today, JPD identified the victim as 21-year-old Jakendrick Bass. Multiple first responders were on the scene when our crews arrived there, including JPD and AMR. Uh, we haven't received any additional information from the police department. We are reaching out, and as soon as we get some more, we will update you on that. But we do know the victim's name, 21-year-old Jakendrick Bass. And again, this happened at the Sunset Plaza Apartments on Sunset Drive last night, sometime before 8 o'clock. Then there was another homicide that Jackson Police Department is investigating, and this homicide happened. Um, it happened not far from the location of the other incident. So it was on Memphis Street near Fontaine Avenue. If you guys want to see where Memphis Street is, let me get this pulled up for you here. So here is Memphis Street right here in the center of the screen. We've got Fontaine Avenue that runs right here. And if we scroll out, you can see where this is in relation to Jackson, downtown Jackson. All right, here we go. So Memphis Street up here towards the top of your screen, and downtown Jackson is in this general vicinity down there where I drew the circle. So that's where this incident happened. A man was found dead on Memphis Street there. Jackson Police Department is still investigating this. They are asking if you have any information, please pass it along to them. But the victim has been identified as Avion Donaldson. So that was two shootings that happened on it yesterday. JPD is investigating them. If you have any information, if you have home security camera, if you have Ring doorbell camera, if you heard anything, as you saw something, please pass that information along to Jackson Police Department so that hopefully we can get the ones that are responsible for this brought into custody. Now, we told you about Joshua Andrews. Joshua Andrews is the individual that has been charged with capital murder and kidnapping of his ex-girlfriend. This happened in Canton near the Nissan plant up there. Well, he was denied bail yesterday. 3 on your side. We were the only ones that were in the courtroom when he made his appearance. That was in a Madison County Justice Court for his preliminary hearing. So he's accused of abducting Glennis Jackson as she went to work at Nissan. He's also charged with felon in possession of a firearm and first-degree murder of an unborn child. So investigators say that surveillance video shows Andrew grabbing Jackson by the neck from behind and holding a gun to her head. Horrific situation here. He then forced her into the driver's side of a vehicle. A witness who was driving behind them on I-55 North reported that Jackson fell from the driver's side of the vehicle onto the roadway, and an autopsy report indicated that she was shot twice during this incident.
He is an incredibly violent and dangerous individual who does not need to be on the streets of Madison County, Hinds County, any county. And so it is better for him to remain in jail so that he cannot cause any more death or disregard for other people's safety.
So his case is being sent over to the grand jury, and we, of course, will continue to follow this and bring you all the updates on this. And again, a horrific situation. Our thoughts are still with the family of Glennis. I couldn't imagine having to go through that as a family member. Well, in Pearl, there was some remains of a person that was found, and they have been identified now. The remains were found 2 years ago, actually, in Pearl, and Rankin County Coroner David Ruth confirms that the remains are those of a Robert Dale Hawthorne of Pearl. This is Robert Dale there on your screen. So his date of birth was July the 12th of 1968. His remains were found in that wooded area on Sweet Home Church Road on December 12th of 2022. And police are investigating to see if any foul play was involved in this. If that is the case, we will update you. And actually, we'll update you when we get the updates in. We'll definitely update this story. So the coroner said that Othram Labs in Texas helped his department confirm Hawthorne's identity through DNA testing. Again, he was from Pearl, but he also had lived in Gulfport at one time. And Jackson police are saying now that a man was shot after walking up on a group of people that were inside of his vehicle. So the shooting happened Tuesday night around 8 p.m. on McClure Road. JPD says that after approaching the group that was inside of his Dodge Durango, there was an exchange of gunfire. The vehicle's owner was shot. He thankfully did not receive any life-threatening injuries. But authorities say the suspects then ran toward Rainy Road. So a short time later, a suspected member of the group arrived at the hospital suffering from non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. And this is, of course, an ongoing investigation that we will update you on when we get the info into us. And a man in Pearl has now been sentenced to 30 years behind bars for sexual crimes that were committed against a minor. So if you take a look here on your screen, you will see the man. This is him right here, 45-year-old Joseph Tatum. He pled guilty to sexual battery and gratification of lust of a 15-year-old girl. So this comes from an announcement that was made by the Madison and Rankin County's District Attorney Bubba Bramlett. On October the 15th of 2024, the victim's parents learned that Tatum had sexually abused their daughter. They reported that to the Pearl Police Department, where an extensive investigation began. The investigation revealed that not only did Tatum sexually abuse the child, but it also uncovered that Tatum manipulated the child through electronic communication. Well, now he has been sentenced and he will be spending 30 years behind bars for the crimes that he committed. And then another man, Stephen Jones, has been convicted, be serving many years behind bars. Here he is on your screen. He is a man, he held his victims at gunpoint, he robbed them, and forcibly abducted them on March the 19th back in 2023. This happened in South Jackson. He's been sentenced to decades behind bars. So he pled guilty on Monday to 6 charges, including 4 counts of armed robbery and 2 counts of kidnapping. He was sentenced to a maximum of 40 years for all 6 counts, 17 years suspended to be served concurrently. He will not be eligible for release until the year of 2047. So, maximum of 40 years he was sentenced to. And Miss Sandra. Hi, Miss Sandra. How are you doing today? Miss Sandra is watching from Clinton, normally watching from St. Dominic's, but she's in Clinton today. I hope you're doing okay. I am doing okay, Miss Sandra. Thank you so much for that. I hope you're doing good as well. Now let's go to North Mississippi, where there was a DeSoto County Sheriff's deputy. He's now recovering after putting his life in jeopardy in order to keep other drivers safe. He intentionally wrecked his cruiser into a car that was going the wrong way on the interstate. And here he is here on your screen. This is the deputy. So Sergeant Brian Brock is being called a hero after he purposefully positioning himself on I-269 to stop a wrong way driver. The driver, Tracy Bolton of Olive Branch, is facing multiple charges, including felony fleeing, felony DUI, and aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer. The sheriff there praised Brock's bravery in this.
He made the decision to pull in the path of an oncoming vehicle. The hardest choices require the strongest will, and he made a decision to take the brunt. Sadly, he took the brunt of that impact head on.
So Sergeant Brock is thankfully home now, and he is recovering from his injuries. The person that was driving wrong way, Tracy Bolton of Olive Branch, is being held in jail without bond. Before we look at our forecast, let's hear from our sponsors at Jackson Water.
At Jackson Water, we are in the game and locked in on our goals. Every day, our dedicated teams are hard at work, ensuring that clean, reliable water flows to every home and business in Jackson. We are not just fixing pipes. We're investing in a brighter, more resilient future for our city. Jackson Water. Water for all the time.
And again, thank you to Jackson Water for sponsoring WLBT Plus, making it possible for us to bring you this show every weekday at 1 o'clock, as well as other content that we have on throughout the day and additional content that we are going to be bringing to you very soon. Looking at our comments here on Facebook, San Griffin said that a governor's award needed for Brock. Brock is that deputy that we just told you about up in DeSoto County who possibly saved the lives of many, many people by purposefully wrecking his vehicle into another vehicle that was driving the wrong way on the interstate. So I can agree with that. Definitely an award needed there. Let's look at our forecast here in the Jackson area and surrounding areas, actually. Our current temperatures are right now, as I said earlier, very pleasant outside, and you can see we are sitting in the mid to upper 50s. Throughout our viewing area. We got 60 down in Macomb, 54 up in Lexington, but pretty much around the same area. Very nice temperatures. If we look at our radar here, my brain just completely lost the word, even though it's right there on the screen for me. If we're looking at our radar, you can see we don't have any rain in the vicinity now, nor are we expecting any over the next 12 hours. We're going to drop down into the mid 40s overnight. We are expecting some rain this weekend, though. If we look at our 7-day forecast, you can see we're Saturday, we're expecting a 60% chance of rain. So I don't believe we're thinking it's going to be anything severe, but there will be some rain on Saturday. To know for sure the details of all of that, make sure you're back here at 2:30 so that you can hear from our First Alert weather team, and they can let you know the details of the timing of the rain, when it'll come in, and the severity of it. Speaking of rain, let's talk about the storms that came through our area on Tuesday. Some of the victims of that storm that sadly lost their lives during that have been identified. So authorities identified the two people that had passed away in Madison County when those storms came through. And the individuals' names are 71-year-old Thomas Lacey Jr. He was electrocuted when a power line fell and caused a fire in the Rose Bluff neighborhood near the reservoir. And 63-year-old Paul Harden was killed when a tree fell on his SUV while he was driving along the Natchez Trace Parkway on Highway 43. And then if we look over into Clark County. That is where someone else lost their life over there. According to Clark County Coroner David Bonner, Miss Jackie Crocker of Stonewall passed away after a tree limb fell on her while she was in her yard. Bonner says that she was transported to Baptist Anderson Regional Medical Center there in Meridian and unfortunately passed away at the hospital. This one hits a little close to me because I am friends with the family, friends with her daughters, friends with Miss Jackie, and it is very, very sad to hear of this news of her passing away. It's sad to hear of all of the people that passed away. There were 3 people that passed away during those storms, according to MEMA, 2 in Madison County, 1 in Clark County. And our thoughts and our prayers are with everybody that was affected by these storms, especially the family members of those who lost their life. And then we talk about the trees that fell on the Natchez Trace. Well, there's a Madison County resident who uses the Natchez Trace and says he almost lost his life in the same way. He says that he wants to see some accountability for the many trees, he says, that threaten people's safety up and down the Trace. I drive the Trace on a daily basis, and there are a lot of trees that are just randomly fall on the Trace. You'll come up and there'll be a tree blocking the road, or you can tell where a tree had fallen into the road and someone had at least moved it partially so you could go around it. Well, Reeves Jones says that back in May, he was driving to work when a large tree fell on his car, barely missing the driver's seat. So all along the Trace, we saw as we went down 100-foot tall oak and pine trees swaying side to side. Many appear to be dead or rotting and in danger of falling. Jones says that they have become a very dangerous problem there on the Trace.
The real problem, as I see it, is there's going to have to be some proactive work done to try and remove some of the trees that are obviously leaning so much over the Natchez Trace around the reservoir that they're going to fall. It's just a matter of time.
And 3 on Your Side did reach out to the National Park Service, which oversees the parkway, for a response to Jones's concerns and for more information on what happened on Tuesday. And the agency told us they could not release any details right now. Hopefully, though, they will be able to get out there and do something about the trees, because there are several trees that are down, not just the ones that have already fallen, but you can tell that there's a lot of dead or near dead trees there, especially on the Natchez Trace Parkway, that need to have something done about. And hopefully this happens sooner rather than later. And of course, told you about the 3 people that ended up losing their lives in these storms that came through. Well, MEMA and the National Weather Service, they're still assessing all of the damage from Tuesday's storms. Right now, at least 4 counties are reporting damage. And then, of course, the 3 people were killed, 2 in Madison County, the 1 in Clark County. 6 other people were hurt during these storms. MEMA says that Madison and Warren counties are among those that are reporting damage as far as here in our viewing area. And, of course, we've also shown you some damage that happened here in Rankin County. But as soon as they are done assessing all of the damage and are able to provide a full report, we will then pass that news along to you guys. Well, that is going to be the end of WLBT Plus today. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Tomorrow, I am going to have a very special guest on with me. She is the president or the director of the Jackson Downtown Association. You don't want to miss out on that tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Find out about some exciting things that are going to be coming to downtown Jackson, to the city of Jackson, and then also speak with Liz about her new role there and the things that she has planned and hopeful for with Jackson area. I will see you all tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Be here at 2:30 today with our First Alert weather team to get that full in-depth report on the rain that's going to be moving through on Saturday and your forecast. But otherwise, get outside, enjoy the sun, and I will see you tomorrow. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.